Twitch as Sladgie. We're going to start a live stream playing 15-minute chess. Welcome everybody to the channel, to the stream. I'm an international chess master, originally from the United States, been based in Hungary since 2004. If anybody has any chess-related questions, feel free to toss them into the chat room here on Twitch. You can also check out my videos at Video Chess Training on YouTube. Most of the live streams here I'm going to upload to YouTube. If you missed something and you want to see the full game, feel free to check out the YouTube channel. We're going to do lots of different stuff over the years as the stream grows. Hopefully more than just games with commentary. I'd like to do simuls, Chess 960. I'm going to get a seek out there. We're just starting a little early today. Those of you watching, you can see the board of a game I just played. I was playing a warm-up game. We've got our 5-minute rating back up over 2,300 after the really bad Twitch session we had last week where we got hammered in 5-minute chess. But a little comeback since then. But 15-minute chess is much better. I'm also thinking about doing increments. And we have changed the board style, so if you guys, actually the piece is not the board. If anybody has a favorite setup they'd like to see, or a different board color, piece scheme you'd like to see, let me know. We're waiting for a 15-minute game to come our way. If not, we'll play some 5-minute chess. Welcome to the stream. Please give a like and follow me on Twitch. It's 10 o'clock Central European Time. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a professional chess player, also a semi-professional poker player. You can check my videos on Video Chess Training on YouTube. Please subscribe and like over there as well. Okay, we've got a game. We played this guy once before. He's very fast. Athol, 1791 from the UK. We're playing black. Played d4. Okay, I'm going to go with maybe something tricky. We'll see what he does. Okay, d4, knight f6, knight f3. If he played c4, I was thinking about playing an old Indian setup with d6, but he played knight f3. And here, against the weaker player, I normally try to set up a King's Indian to make the position as dynamic as possible. I played very quietly with e3. Against any kind of setup based on e3, I recommend playing c5 early. If he wants to play d5, he's going to be playing kind of tempo down with the pawn on e3. This was successful for Grandmaster Shakhriyar Mamedyarov against Boris Gelfand a couple of games. Gelfand, a big, this was last year, I think, early last year, or maybe even end of 2014. Gelfand, a big Grunfeld expert. So Mamedyarov, I'm going to play a Catalan reversed here. Mamedyarov, we could play d5 too. Mamedyarov, really good player all around strategically, but he's not as well versed like as an ultra theoretical expert as Gelfand. And Gelfand struggled against Mamedyarov when he faced this same thing where white does like knight f3, e3, this unassuming sort of setup, and then when Gelfand tried to dynamize the opening with c5, Mamedyarov just played d5 anyway, even though he was playing into a Benoni, like a tempo down. I also do paid content for chesslecture.com, so you can check out that site. This isn't really an advertisement for that, but if you're interested in the material for the Gelfand concept I'm talking about, I did do a video about that for chesslecture.com. Gelfand had troubles with Mamedyarov, even a tempo down. If you're not used to the Benoni structure, you're gonna have issues more than likely. Okay, now here We had a game just like this the other day where we were white. Now, I don't know if anybody was watching that stream, but a few days ago, maybe Sunday or Friday, we were white in the exact same position, where we were white in a Tarash and black, we were colors reversed. Black exchanged on d4. So here, I think there's a big question about where our white squared bishop should go. It wants to stay on the board. It's a useful piece. We could play bishop e6 here. That would actually be interesting. It would rule out queen b3. I am an itty bit concerned he could take, sorry, he could play knight g5. If I play bishop e6, he plays knight g5, sacrificing a pawn. The idea of knight takes e6. It looks weird, but there's also the idea of bishop f3 for white. So if I play bishop e6, he plays knight g5. If I play knight takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4, knight takes e6, pawn takes e6. I'm a pawn up, but my structure's not good. Rook a to d8 would probably be the best square. Bishop f5 is an active square, doesn't look particularly great. But now I'm recalling what happened in that game. Maybe I should play h6. It's a little slow, but there's not a lot white can really do here. I am a tiny bit concerned about queen b3, trying to get me to trade on b3 so he can use the a file for his rook. You know, if bishop e6, knight g5 is a real problem. We have some tricks we could try. Bishop e6, knight g5, bishop takes d4. All these endings, I'm thinking white has some compensation. So I'm thinking about h6 here. Is it too slow to play h6? If rook c1, then bishop e6, we could play rook d8. Rook d8 is a good move, actually. Probably weakens f7 a bit. I talked about that. That's the problem. So I'll play h6. It's a tiny bit slow. White's setup. Hey, Seabag. M94. I don't know if you're Seba GM or Sebag Maria, because there's a French WGM with the same name, but probably Seba GM. A3, very slow move, of course. White square weaknesses. No more 3D pieces. Yay! Everybody's in favor of this. All right, I have to admit that I used to play with this piece configuration, and I kind of forgot. You know, it's like you just get used to something. There was a long time when I used these pieces, the vector pieces, I think, and they're fine. You know, it's just a matter of getting used to it. Once you get used to one, it's very hard to play with a different setup. Okay, now I'm much more inclined to play rook on f somewhere. I'd like to trade queens here, actually, because at this point, where's my queen going, though, if rook c5, we have lots of options. If queen d2, king h7, we have queen b3 available. I'm a little reticent to put my queen on b3, like rook c5, queen b3, queen d2, king h7. My queen is a little short on squares over there, so maybe we'll pull the queen back to d6 or d7 here. Like queen d2, king h7, rook c5. We did a couple Twitch streams this weekend, Friday and Sunday. For me, the best time is during the day, Eastern European time. Totally forgot he could do this move. But I guess there's a reason why, you know, it's like kind of Freudian thing. We don't really look for moves that subconsciously we think aren't good. So I think trading his white square bishop is so anti-positional for me that I didn't even really consider this option for white. Queen d6, queen d7, probably about the same, although queen d6 is a bit more active, doesn't allow bishop b5 pin. So we're going to go with that. Luckily there's no d5 here. This exchange of pieces for him is strategically mistaken. Actually, exchanging pieces, period, for white is the wrong idea. The isolated queen pawn position. But, he'd much rather trade his dark squared bishop with 4 pawns out of 6 posted on dark squares. White, if he's going to trade a bishop for bishop, he should be doing it with the dark square bishop. Would be nice to trade for my dark square bishop, weaken my king side. RCN, Helenos, hello, welcome to the channel. I'm good today. We played a warm-up game before the stream started. We won in blitz against the Grob defense. There is such a thing. And we are looking good here. I played this guy earlier, I think on the stream. Don't remember what happened a week ago. Very fast player. Kind of coffee house. Not a deep thinker. We're not getting a lot of deep thinkers in the 15-minute pool. I guess we need to go to the 45-minute time control to get the deep thinkers. But there are different ways to play blitz chess. Some people just move constantly fast. Other people, like myself, tend to pick certain situations. And what I try to do is find a certain spot that I think is a critical path, moment for choosing a critical path, and spend extra time in one particular situation. And other players are just practical and just continuously move at the same pace, like this guy. I'm good today. Welcome to the stream, everybody. I think that it's a bad idea to use too much time and then start thinking when you have a bad position. This is the most typical sort of time management scheme that we see. Alright, pawns hanging. We're going to try to keep this as simple as possible. Unfortunately, I'd like to triple my heavy pieces on the d file, but he's not going to give me time. The best setup for me would be something like Alekhine's gun. Rook b5, the other rook to d7, queen on d8. But it's not going to be really feasible for me to achieve that. Now, I talked earlier about the b3 square not being so safe from a queen. It's looking a little better now because there's no white squared bishop on the board for white, less pieces in general. Hard for him to cover all squares. So if my queen gets under attack with something like rook e1, I think that b3, becomes kind of a viable option, whereas before I was really reticent to consider that as a square for my queen. f5 would normally be a good square, where the white square is weak, no white square bishop on the board. Many Sicilian positions where f5 is a good square, hedgehog positions, f5, f4 for the queen, often good. But here he has queen c5. We'd have to do some calculation. In a line like rook fe1, queen f5, rook c5, queen takes c5, d takes c5, rook takes d2, and then bishop takes db2 at the end of this long line. He has some compensation, but maybe not enough. It would be like bishop takes b2, rook takes b7, bishop takes a3, but I'm a little bit worried. He gets rook c7. So you have to calculate pretty far. This line like rook e1, queen f5, rook c5, queen takes c5, d takes c5, rook takes d2. That's 3 full pairs, move pairs. Bishop takes rook b1, bishop takes, it's like 5 move pairs deep. Rook takes b7, rook c7 at the end, and it looks like white has compensation. So we kind of think queen f5 maybe not the best square. In the event of rook e1, we don't want to go to d5 because he just goes rook c5. I was thinking b3 because it's controlling d5. Even a2 would be a funny square. It's just not easy for him to bother it there, That's a creative idea. Rook fe1, queen a2. Freezing, everything, keeping an eye on his pawns, but staying in the game at the same time. I mean, the queen has a lot of mobility, but it's not the optimal square. It's a little on the side of the board. Okay, queen d3. Don't know what this is about. Now what I'd like to do is get an improved battery on the d file. So he took away that square b3 I was talking about. I do have a2 available. Welcome everybody to the